Good Tuesday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. We've got another Watchmen update here. A bunch of news items coming across the tape here. Some crazy things happening out there in the markets. We got Texas now allowed indeed to require state ID numbers for their mail-in ballots. We're going to talk about that. We got Pharma Tariffs are going to start. Your meds could be coming a lot more expensive in the coming days. India is experiencing a currency collapse. It's collapsing to all-time lows. We got foreigner visas to the United States may require a down payment, basically a form of a bond, and it's not a slap on the wrist once you hear those numbers. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars, friends. It's going to be a whole lot harder for people to overstay their visas. We got new Chinese infectious disease spreading. You might want to know about that. Fruit and vegetables are rotting within days. Reports coming from you guys from all over. Eggs having issues again. You're not hearing that anywhere else, just here. And an Amazon scam that you need to be aware of so you don't get taken in. We got that and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have anything to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They are a Christian business that focuses in on people's retirement accounts, helping people to switch their retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, over into precious metals like gold, silver, or platinum. If you want to find out more about that, Jonathan and his team would love to chat with you. There'll be a link at the end of the video. Trump will announce pharma tariffs within the next week, apparently. We're not talking about small tariffs either. This is for all medications that are made overseas. There's been a lot of suspect medications. There's been issues with purity. There's been issues with just sanitation in a lot of these factories, as well as the fact that a lot of these medications that Americans need are being made in countries that are not necessarily fully stable or friends of the United States. So these planned tariffs on pharmaceuticals imported into the United States could reach up to 250%. This could make some of your medications more expensive going forward, so it would be important to know where your medications are being made and whether those companies have plans to bring those jobs and that production back into the United States. Moving over to Texas, a Texas appeals court has upheld the Texas law that was initially challenged and overturned or put on hold, requiring that driver's licenses or some sort of state ID number be attached to all mail-in ballots. Up until now, you can just cast mail-in ballots without any kind of attachment to that. So not only is it going to require that people prove that they are eligible to vote, but it's also going to require that each ballot is going to be attached to a ID number. Who cast that ballot? That's going to be an important one, and that is in election integrity. Things are moving forward that way. So other states are probably going to follow suit since it's legal to do that. Others, red states are going to follow suit, and hopefully purple states as well. All right, the Indian Rupee, which is their currency there, is at risk of lifetime lows against the US dollar after President Trump has threatened to up the tariffs on India. These threats are going to become a reality, and India is going to be hit with a really high tariff to import things into the United States. Now, the United States faces large tariffs trying to go into India, so it's only fair that they face tariffs coming back the other way. But also it has to do with the fact that India is propping up Russia by buying up their oil on the black market, and they basically just doing this, and everybody knows that they're doing it. Everybody knows that the Indians are buying up this the oil. They're just like, we're just going to do it anyway. And nobody's really calling them out on it. President Trump is like, why do we have sanctions if we're not enforcing them against countries that are flagrantly going up against us? We got the Friday deadline coming up where President Trump is going to go head-to-head with Russia, and that's going to come in form of sanctions against India, sanctions against China, Turkey, and other countries that trade with Russia. Speaking of China, let's see if we can get this name right. They are now reporting over 7,000 chikungunya cases. Yes, if we needed a disease named after chicken, we now have one. Chikungunya in China is spreading rapidly, and China is now launching emergency measures in some areas because they're basically using COVID-like measures to use against this chikungunya disease. Now, it is a mosquito-borne virus, so it is a little bit different, but it is spreading rapidly and has led to a lot of serious hospitalizations and some deaths reported as well. So they've had 7,000 cases reported since July, and we're only a few days into August, so that is not going the right direction. All right, I told you that we'd talk about the bond that's going to be required for visas coming into the U.S. So the United States could require up to a $15,000 bond for some tourist visas under this pilot program. Now, they were authorized by Congress to do this in the latest giant one big beautiful bill. They are required to charge, I think it's a minimum of like $400 or something like that, but it doesn't actually put an upper limit on that. So anyone who is coming from a high-risk country into the United States, high risk because they, not because they're going to be bad people in the United States necessarily, but rather that they're at risk of overstaying their visa. These countries are going to be hit with a large bond that they're going to have to put the money down into an account, and then they get that money back once it has been proven that they went home. So if they want a tourist visa, they can get that tourist visa relatively easy as long as they put the money into the account. And the U.S. government will use that money for enforcement if they overstay the visa. So this is a 12-month pilot program with this bond payment for visa applicants, and it's going to start August 20th. This may actually make it easier for some people to get into the United States. I mean, you're putting the money up, but you get the money back, right? So people who can afford to come to the United States and spend money will be able to afford to put this money down and then to get it back. They see this as affecting up to 2,000 applicants a month or so, but this program may rapidly expand to allow more people from some of these at-risk countries who are better off, who are better financially off, can come into the United States to spend their tourist dollars. Interesting program. It solves a problem without causing more problems. It's very ungovernment-like. W says, Bluefield, Virginia, Sam's and Walmart romaine lettuce is rotting from the inside out. Hasn't been an issue up until the last couple of months. Also, fruit and veggies starting to mold in the stores, even before it gets home, or within a couple of days, and poor quality on rest of stuff, especially from Walmart. Sad to see. I'm getting a lot of reports like that. Produce is definitely deteriorating faster, and I know we're bringing in produce from other countries. It also seems like we're not rejecting as much produce. Like normally it was like a bunch of the produce was rejected before it went to the store shelves. A lot of it's not being rejected. They're just putting it on the shelves anyway because they don't have enough to go around. And that's something that nobody's talking about. It's a shortage when the stores are putting on the shelves stuff that they would normally have thrown out. Joanne says, Las Vegas, Nevada. I bought a bag of mandarin oranges last Wednesday. Out of 10 oranges, one was moldy by Saturday. 2 more were rotten on the inside already. This is less than 1 week. Also, the broccoli heads were all limp. So if you guys have insider information from food processing or from your workplace, if you know what's going on with this, please let us know. Make sure you use that word update somewhere in your comment. Loa says, went to Walmart in Prairieville, Louisiana to check for you all. You were right. Eggs are extremely low. So we are seeing egg issues out there, friends. A number of you guys are reporting them. They are spotty at this point. Mostly have been concentrated on the west coast of the United States, but now Other places are being affected too, hit or miss. Only large boxes in the cooler for the Walmart, maybe 3 dozen cartons left with cracked eggs in them. Yeah, always do check your eggs, make sure they aren't cracked. Make sure you grab them and start lifting up some of them to see if they're sticking to the bottom, because that's what happens to cracked eggs, right? Jackie says, I went to 5 different stores today. Sam's, Target, Ralph's, Aldi's, and Sprouts. What I was on the hunt for was 2 rotisserie chickens. Sam's didn't have any because they said their ovens were broken. Well, guess what? Target didn't have them either. Sprouts and Ralph's did, but they were only like 1 or 2 of them, and boy, were they sad looking. Barely any meat and more than double or triple the price at like Sam's. Good luck out there. This is Riverside County, California. And LJ Full House says, I only just noticed this weekend that there is no carbonated water at Aldi or any Walmart. I'm talking about the plain, unflavored seltzer water, not one bottle and no place for it. It's just disappeared. Americans just not buying that anymore. All they have is the flavored, artificially sweetened junk, right? Tony says, no chunk light tuna in water at Aldi in Glen Burnie, Maryland yesterday. We haven't been having issues with tuna out there, but I'll just put that out there. Is anyone else seeing issues with canned tuna? If you are, let us know. Make sure you use the word update. Deep Quake Paul says, no white milk at Kroger at the Louisville, Kentucky store there. No white milk. Maybe there's still some chocolate milk. I don't know. I don't know what they meant by that. But Rena says, I've shopped at grocery stores from just north of Denver to the Wyoming border, so quite a bit of an area there. Walmart and King Soopers. I don't shop at Safeway. While the shelves aren't stocked like they were before 2020, there are a few completely empty shelves. Only things that might be out are those on really good sales. So we're seeing some empty shelves. Not quite like the pandemic or the height of COVID, but we are seeing some outages out there. Jeff says, our local Sam's Club in southern New Mexico just required us to log into their free Wi-Fi at the store to do the scan and go free features, to use anything on the app in the store. This was previously not required. Okay, so I don't know if this has been rolled out to all Sam's Clubs across the U.S., but we already heard about how the food court is now app only. You have to use the app in order to order food at the Sam's Club food court, or was that Costco? Well, Sam's Club apparently is at least testing this new feature that you have to use their Wi-Fi in their store. You have to log into their Wi-Fi in order to use the app there. So let us know if you're seeing that at your store there. Troy says, in southeast Kentucky, I was perusing for some nut milk at Walmart when I observed that the door to that section of refrigerator was missing and had been replaced with a clean shower curtain. So, plastic shower curtain stuff instead of a door there. Watchmen says, Arlington, Texas. Storm here, power out, no big deal, right? Went to the grocery store, tried to take a picture. The store manager did her best to keep it under wraps. I left before I got caught. What if there was a cyber attack? So just that question of like, why the store having such issues with people taking pictures, if it's just a power outage. Barbara says, the sky and weather here in northeast Wyoming has been stupid crazy the past month or plus. Weird clouds come and sit like a blanket every evening. Almost like clockwork, the wind blows hard, but none of the clouds show movement at all. Then lightning that gets insane starts, thunder that sounds like an earthquake, and little to no rain. Last night, it was still going strong after an hour. It just doesn't feel like it's God doing it at all. I'm left with the eerie sense about it all every time it's like that. Weather modification question. It sure seems 100% like it is. I've lived here 5 years now, never seen it like this every day. Am I crazy? I love a good thunder and lightning show. Last night I was just left angry. What are they doing? A lot of people are looking at this as potentially like these things are being used against the United States, and then seeing some of these storms and some of these things in other countries looking like maybe their counterstrikes. We're hitting them and they're hitting us. Is there more than just an economic tariff war going on? Is there actual weapons being used against the countries that are modifying the weather and causing bad storms and such? Solo Tap says, on the wild birds starving. This morning I went to let the dogs out. I had 2 Canadian geese dead in my yard. I honestly thought they were just sleeping with the others that were there until the dogs bopped the birds several times on the head. That's when I knew something was wrong. I live on a lake in central Minnesota, so swans, geese, ducks, crows, and small birds in the yard at 5 a.m. are a given, but the dead birds seem skinny, almost way lighter than you would expect for that size animal, maybe 3 to 5 pounds for a bird who's should be around 14 pounds. Now, the ones who died could have been juveniles possibly, but I've been seeing more wild birds coming into the duck pen for food. So I've decided to make a plot for the wild ones down by the lake, away from my domestic birds. What we're discussing there is the lack of insects. A lot of people have been talking about the lack of insects. And of course, one of the animals that eats more insects than any of the others is birds, right? Bats eat lots of insects, but so do birds. And if there's no insects, well, then what are the birds going to eat? That's a serious question there. And with less birds, we've been having the bird flu going around too. I don't know. Eyes Wide says, Tacoma, Washington State. I've just got a breaking news update. Prime Days are about to start again. This is what the email said, right? Prime Days for Amazon are about to start again, and they're scammers sending out emails to people saying that their Prime membership has expired. They send you a link to update your information, but when you do, they steal your account information and banking info. Stay safe and God bless. So just because it says it's from Amazon, friends, do not click on links. I keep saying this, and believe me, I know. If you're anything like me, you try not to click on links, but every so often you're like, I know who this person is, or I know what this is about, and you click on the link, right? We really need to stop doing that, because with artificial intelligence nowadays, it doesn't matter how much you're sure that this is that person or this business, it's not a sure thing. Please, please, please just go straight to the website. Go to Google, go to the search bar, type in Amazon, go straight to Amazon, go check on your account there if there's an issue, okay? If it is an issue, then you can fix it. But please do not be giving your credentials, your information, your banking information, especially after clicking on a link. I don't care how legitimate it looks, because they can make those things look really, really legitimate. All right, friends, thanks so much for your updates. Thanks so much for your time. If you want to find out more about Genesis Gold Group, you can click on that link right there and fill out your information. That's a solid link right there. Sounds hypocritical, doesn't it? From a trusted source. Or you can just go straight to Genesis Gold Group. Make sure it's Genesis Gold Group. Make sure you mention this channel so they do waive your setup fee. And you can get some information from them from their website or call them directly. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right there. That'll keep you right here on YouTube and on this channel. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of The Poplar Report out.